Hi, I'm Scott, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of Derf Did It. On today's episode, we're going to be making a epoxy resin bowl. Being a amateur wood turner, this is something I've not had a lot of experience with, so I'm going to take you along with me. We'll see the ins and outs of the steps of making the epoxy bowl and see what happens along the way. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my block of wood that I intend to turn into a resin bowl. I need to make it a little more round to fit into my mold. So what I'm going to do is I do have a round template. I know that my piece of wood is going to be about 7 inches round, so I just line up and make a mark for 7 inches. So that'll be about there. And then what I'll need to do is make a hole for my circle cutting jig to hold the piece of wood. I'm just going to put Next, I'm going to put the piece of wood on my circle cutting jig that I use on my bandsaw. I do have the table on my bandsaw rotated to about 10 degrees to give me a little bit of an angle for the piece of wood. My intention with this project is to save some of the wood for another project, so I intend to just use the outer portion of this piece of wood. So we'll see how that goes. So now it's time to mix up some epoxy. For this pour, we're going to be using some deep pour epoxy. It's a 1-to-1 part A and part B. I've estimated that it's going to take about 1 liter of epoxy, and we're going to do this in 2 different pours in 3 different colors. Now that the first part of epoxy is put in, I'm going to mix up another set here. First ones were a maroon and sort of a silvery black. This one is going to be more of a purple. The idea is to have sort of a cosmic look to our epoxy. Now that I have the piece mounted on the lathe between centers, I'm first going to make a tenon to hold the piece in place. To flatten the top of the bowl, I'll use my Irish grind gouge or Ellsworth gouge. To actually make the tenon, I'll then switch over and use my carbide tip gouge. Now that the basic shape of the bowl is finished, I'll take it off of the lathe and mount it using the tenon and chuck. That way I can work on the bottom of the bowl. I'll create a mortise so that I can mount it to hollow out the center of the bowl. So here I get a little bit aggressive with my cut, and as we've all experienced, a little bit of excitement can come into our lives. You notice here now that the little accident happened, the profile of the lip of the bowl has changed a bit. Here I'll finish up the inside of the bowl, give it a good sand, and put the finish on it. That will finish up this project. Hope you've enjoyed it.